problem for you to try. We have two accounts. Let's see, Bruce Blossom invests a sum of money at 10% annual simple interest and invested twice that amount at 12% annual simple interest. If his yearly total income from both investments was $2,890, how much was invested at each rate? Okay, so we're going to work this together, but first I want you to try it. But let's talk a little bit about it together first. Remember, we have principal times rate times time equals interest. Okay, but time is 1 in this context, right? The yearly income and all of these kinds of problems, you'll have 1 for time for now. So principal times rate equals interest. So to remember how the table gets set up, it helps to remember the top line of the table. So you don't have to memorize the whole table and everything. Really, just memorize this part of it, and that tells you how to set up the top line of the table, and then maybe you can unpack the rest of the table from there with enough practice. Okay, so here's the table, and there we go. Okay, principal times rate equals interest. All right, so we have principal times rate equals interest. All right, so pause the video here, work out the rest of this problem, and we'll compare answers. Okay, we have two accounts, 10% and 12%. All right, principal. Well, let's say, okay, he invested a sum of money at 10%. We don't know how much. Let's let that be the unknown. Let X be the amount invested at 10%. Okay, if we let that be X, well then it says twice that amount is at 12%. Twice that amount, 2X. Okay? Rate, well we don't write 10, we don't write 10%, we write 0.1. I moved that decimal 2 to the left. Similarly, we write 0.12. Multiply across, principal times rate equals interest. So 0.1x and 0.12 times 2x. Okay. The question they're asking, or what they give us here, is the total. The total yearly income is this much. Total means add, right? We're adding all the stuff together to get the total. Okay? So we add these two together, and then it says, it gives us this total interest, $2,890. All right, so here is the equation we were after. And we can forget about the table after this, because we just needed this one equation. All right, so we have 0.1x plus 0.12 times 2x equals 2,890. Okay, forget about the table from here. We don't need it anymore. We got the equation we were after. Let's focus on this here. 0.1x, 0.12 times 2 is 0.24x. Okay, still equals 2,890. 0.1 plus 0.24 is 0.34x equals 2,890. 2,890, there we go. Divide both sides by 0.34 to solve for x. May have to use a calculator for that. 8,500 dollars. Okay, now this is not our final answer, right? We haven't answered the question, right? It says how much was invested at each rate. So we just have x. We haven't even said what rate that was. Well, let's see. X was 10%. So our answer looks something like this. We say, okay, here's our final answer. Okay, we have 10% rate, 8,500. 12% rate. Well, now I guess we do need our table. because we're going to plug in right here for X, 8,500. I won't leave the $sign in there. 8,500. Okay, we plug in for X, so it's 2 times that, 17,000. Okay, so that's how much was invested at 12%. 17,000. And both of those together give us our answer.